Hello everyone, this is Akash Chauhan, and in today's lecture, we are going to discuss constructors and destructors and inheritance. So, the main objective of this lecture would be to focus on what would be the execution and calling flow of constructors and destructors in inheritance. So, let me take an example so it would be super easy for you guys to understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so I have taken a class A and a class B which is inheriting class A. And int main is the usual method to call the functions or the methods in A or B class, right? So let me explore A. So first I'll explore constructors flow and then I will explore destructors flow. Okay. So constructor is, what is constructor? Constructor usually used to initialize your variables, your data members, right? And the constructors are called during the object creation. What is, for example, like this BB. So what I'm doing, B is the object of B class. Okay. So if there is an constructor inside it, okay, then during this object creation, that constructor will be called. And usually the constructors are used to initialize the default values. Okay. Let's say in A class, we have a constructor A. Okay. The notation of constructor is the name of the class. Okay. And the close and open brackets, and then whatever logic you are going to write inside the constructor. So during this, like if you are writing like this, then this constructor will be called automatically. That is the concept of constructor. But what happens if we have a constructor in B class as well, and B is inheriting A class? Okay, little complex, but let me explore. So I'm simply writing one line in constructor A. This is a constructor. So I will know if when this constructor will be executed during the execution flow. Okay. In B constructor, I'm writing again the B constructor, and in B, I'm simply writing one statement. Okay. So let's say if we are creating this object B. Okay. So what it means it is creating constructor B. Okay. Sorry, it is it will call the constructor B automatically. But in inheritance, if this class is inheriting another class, then this will not execute in the calling fashion. Okay, let me refresh what I have just said. Um, if there is an inheritance involved with the object class means you are creating object of B class, and there is a constructor. Okay, and this class, that particular class is inheriting the class base class. Okay, for B, A is a superclass or base class. Okay, then the pattern is B will be executed after the base class of B. Okay, so first A would be executed and then B would be executed, but the calling fashion would be different. So the calling fashion would be B during object creation B will be called, okay, and then A will be called. But the execution flow will be base class to child class, right? First A would be executed and then B would be executed. So let me execute it so you will know what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay, so A constructor and B constructor. So first it is printing A constructor and then B constructor. So what it means, if we are creating object of a class, and during the object creation, the default constructor, if you are not passing any parameter during the object creation, then the default constructor, here it is the default constructor. The good thing about it is if you don't create it, let's say you say I don't want to create it, okay, then the compiler would create it for you. But uh, if you create it, you have a choice to write anything you want, okay, anything possible you want inside the constructor. Okay, and in inheritance, the execution flow of the constructors is base to child. Okay, so we can say, let's say the flow, of calling uh, during inheritance is child to parent, right? First B is called and then A is called. But the execution flow is different. The parent to child, okay? Parent to child means first the base class constructor would be executed and then the child class constructor would be executed. Okay, so this is the default constructor, but as I said earlier that the compiler would create constructors for you. So creating your own constructor, default constructor, why you are creating? Okay, because you are saying to the compiler, okay, you don't need to create base constructor or the default constructor, I am creating it for you. So what you saying, during the object creation, if you, even if you don't want to pass variables, use the my constructor. You don't need to create the your constructor. Okay, and same for your base class. Okay, so the objective of creating a non-parameterized constructor is to make your own constructor. Okay, that is the only point. If the default operations you want to perform, then let the compiler create default constructor. Okay, but okay, let's talk about another example. When you want to pass some values to the constructor, okay, then what you will do in int x and int y. So uh, so during this object creation, 1 and 2 will be passed to this one, okay, and this one. Okay, let me execute it. So there is no problem. 1 will be passed to x and 2 will be passed to y. Okay, you can use x and y over here. But what if I want to pass it to the base class constructor? Let's say int x. Okay, so I want to pass 1 to a constructor, the base class constructor. But if you remember, I discussed earlier that compiler is only responsible to create the default constructor. So if you have created your own constructor, the compiler will not execute the default constructor. Okay, the default constructors are non-parameterized constructors, like without the parameter. Okay, so this with parameter, the compiler would say, okay, you have already created a constructor, it means you don't need a default constructor, so I will not create any constructor for you. So in that case, when this during the object creation, 1 and 2 will be passed to x and y, and we would say, okay, I am inheriting class A, so what I'll do, I will execute my base class constructor, the default constructor, and it will say, okay, I am not able to find the default constructor, and I also don't have this value to pass you. Okay, because there is no such mechanism here. It by default it can only execute the default constructor or non-parameterized constructor. Okay, but once you have created your own constructor, the compiler would say, I will not create any constructor, any or non-parameterized constructor, because you have already created one constructor. Okay, so in that case, it will throw an error. Okay, okay, it is throwing an error. What is that error? It is saying non-matching function for call to A. It means A function, A constructor, we there is an error. No matching function. So what it means, it is saying that B would be calling during the execution. We would be calling something like A. Okay, and it is not able to find it because compiler have not created it for you. So what you will do, so in C++ there is a way to call your base constructor by using this. Okay, by using colon operator you can use constructor of your base class. Okay, but if you are calling your base constructor, then it should also be in the constructor, right? This should also be, if this is a non-parameterized constructor, right? So this should also exist, otherwise it will throw the same error. So what I'll do, because the A class doesn't contain non-parameterized constructor, okay, so what I'll do, I'll pass x to it. Okay, and x will be mapped to int x, and this will be printed. So if I execute it, it will not show you any error, and it will print A and then B constructor. Okay, so everything is fine. Okay, so let me explain the same example again. Okay, let me explain. So I'm creating an object, okay, and passing 1 and 2. 1 and 2 will be mapped to the parameterized constructor because we are creating a parameterized object, right? So 1 will be mapped to x and 2 will be mapped to y. Okay, so by using colon operator, you can call your base constructor, okay, either parameterized or non-parameterized. In our base class, we only have parameterized, so we have called the parameterized constructor. We have to pass some value. Either you can write 5 or anything, and I'm passing the value this class has, okay, after calling your parameterized constructor. So this is the default way. Okay, so by doing so, we got to know that if I don't pass any value, let me erase all these things. If I execute it, okay, it will print you the same, and we will discuss why. Oh, that is the issue. Okay, why? Because this is the execution flow. You are creating an object of child class, and child class is calling your base constructor. This is the way. So let's say if you don't write it, you don't write this child constructor, you don't write the base constructor, then the compiler would create the default constructors for you. Okay, like the compiler would create this kind of a constructor, and the data inside the constructor would be decided by the compiler, if you are not creating by yourself. Okay, and in case of this, the compiler would substitute. If you don't write it, the compiler would do the same. Okay, so but the inside the B constructor, the data or the logic would be decided by the compiler, not you, if it is not customized constructor. Like in this case, we both have the customized constructor. Okay, so far we have covered what is the execution flow, what is the calling flow of constructors in inheritance, what is the execution flow of constructors in inheritance, and how to pass values to your child class, okay, and also to your parent class. That is what we have learned using this colon operator and by calling your constructor. Okay, so we have done with the constructor calls in inheritance. So let's move on to the next topic, which is destructors call. Okay, so let me take an example for that. Again, I have created the same structure. We have class A, class B is inheriting class A, and we have int main method in which we are creating an object of class B. Okay, the class, now we are going to discuss about the destructors. Okay, the only difference between constructor and destructor is the calling pattern is also child to parent, and the execution pattern is also child to parent. What it means, what we have written in child, okay, the destructor, you have to use tilde operator. If you remember, the way of creating destructor is by using first of all the tilde operator and the name of the class, and the usual way of creating a constructor would be same as the destructor. Okay, the only difference is you are not supposed to pass any parameter in destructor. Okay, destructor is always public and non-parameterized. Okay, so let's say we have written something, the console will print b destructor, and same for A. Okay, so A also we have created a destructor. Okay, so the use of destructor in C++ is just before the object will be released from the memory, then you want to perform some important steps, like you want to save some data, you want to save some file, you want to close some file, you want to give some information to the console. Okay, uh, very important information that you want to be executed just before your object will be getting out of the memory, or your object memory will be released just before that. Okay, so the execution flow and the calling flow will be same. First, the v destructor will be executed because destructors, whenever the program will be executed, let's say after this line, okay, the whole data will be released from the memory. Okay, then just before that, the first of all, this destructor will be executed because this will call the child destructor. Okay, and your base destructor then will be called. Let me execute it without any further delay. Okay, so B destructor is first executed and then the A destructor. Okay, so we know the execution flow and the calling flow is are same. Child to parent. First, the child destructor will be called, and then the parent destructor will be called. If A would be, extending or inheriting another class, then the let's say C class would be here. Okay, okay, and A is inheriting C class, then first B destructor will be executed, A destructor, and then the C destructor. So this is the execution and calling flow. Okay, so in inheritance, this is the execution and calling flow of constructors call and destructors call. So this is all about today's lecture. So thank you so much, guys.